Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, guys? What up, what up? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know, let me know, let me know. We have a big day ahead of us, guys. I'm so fucking happy to be back chatting with you guys. And yes, I started off the stream with the F bomb. I apologize, but it's just that kind of day. We got to get shit going. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. All right, cool, cool, cool. Pull up the chat here so I can read if you can hear me. All right, guys, what up? What up? What up, Maddie? What up, Fernando? What up, guys? What up? What up? Good morning. Good fucking morning, guys. We have such a big day ahead of us. Um, yeah, so I'm not gonna waste too much time. There's a lot of shit going around in the world, but it's time. It's wrestling time, guys. Yes, Maddie. Yes, Maddie. Yes, Maddie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Ha, Fernando coming in with the I'm not Fernando. Save that for my channel, guys, and we can chat about that because I got some thoughts on that. I don't want to I don't want to express my views on brashing media in that regard, on that side of the world, because in those topics, because I think we're all pretty well aligned here about social media, but I don't want to overstep without getting clearance. So we can chat about that shit on Kick Ash Podcast, Fernando. But I agree. Zach Minger, what up, bro? You were the first one in here, man. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone on Twitter. I think I saw someone else on Twitter too. Panama Jr., good morning, good morning. National Pepperoni Pizza Day. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. I love me some pizza too. And pepperoni. See, my favorite pizza is just a plain pepperoni pizza. I am one of those people who think that pineapple should be on pizza, but I don't like it all the time. I have to be in the mood for it. I'm not gonna dislike it, but sometimes I just like prefer a regular, just plain pizza, man. So sometimes I do half and half pepperoni, half pepperoni. Well, yeah, half pepperoni and pineapple. So that's what you guys come here for. Hot takes, right? Good morning, Jesse. Good morning. Good morning. You said, did you hear about Paramount Skydance and now Netflix pushing or putting bids to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, and that will affect AEW's future? I think I just saw like one tweet. I just saw like someone quote tweeting, maybe it was like Russell Pierce or one of those accounts, and they're like talking shit about AEW because that's what some people just like to do, which is fine, I guess. That's to each their own. But yeah, well, we can chat about this really quick before we dive into WWE. I don't have that press of a schedule today, so we can kind of bullshit and shoot the breeze, as they say. What up, Sai? What up? What up? Man, no, it's not, Sai. He's like, bless you, man. No, it's not. I just pushed all the shit to the other side so you couldn't see it. Thankfully, though, I don't want you guys to think I'm a pack rat. So I'm gonna take this down though, really quick, and then put it back up. This is the second bedroom, like I guess the guest bedroom, the office, the lair, whatever it's gonna be called. So the actual bedroom is set. The actual bedroom is set. So I'm not that much of a what do they call, like just a lazy person for lack of other words. But this room does look like Hoarders, so you guys just will not see that side. Love it. But yeah, back to the important matter. Jesse, going back to your comment, just to reread it, you had said, "Did you hear about Paramount?" And Skydance. I haven't heard of Skydance. But I had saw Netflix. So, reading your full question again. Did you hear about Paramount, Skydance, and now Netflix putting bids to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, and that will affect AEW's future? So yes and no. I heard about, like I said, I saw like a screen grab or something of the Netflix side, which I immediately obviously thought like, oh shit. But I did not hear about the Paramount or Skydance side of it. Um, I mean, if you're AEW, you're freaking hoping that it's not Netflix, right? I don't know what kind of exclusivity deals WWE would have with Netflix. The brightness is kind of like fucking with me. With Netflix, right? I don't know. Oh, my alarm was going off. I don't know would be built into the contract between the two. I mean, obviously they jointly signed a huge effing deal, right? So I don't know what kind of language that WWE would put in that, because I mean, you have to imagine that they would have some type of like, yo, like, all right, if you sign a deal with us, like, you can't be bringing in like all these other, like, before they were closer with TNA, like, you can't bring in TNA, AEW, like MLW, like any of the other wrestling companies out there, right? But I don't know if you like how. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer, right? I don't know how specific you can get in contract negotiations, right? I mean, obviously you can put in whatever the fuck you want, but the other side has to agree with it, right? It has to be more on all that BS. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if Netflix, for instance, were to buy Warner Brothers, what that would mean for AEW. And correct me, and I guess just enlighten me, chat. Doesn't or does HBO? Who owns HBO? Does Warner Brothers own HBO? Let me see. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So good old AI Google says HBO Max is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, a publicly traded company. Blah blah blah. Okay. So that would, because I was gonna say, well, at least God, this person walks with his dog every fucking where. I'll be walking with my dogs sometimes, and not sometimes, but I'll be walking with my dogs, and then sometimes this dude will just pop up running with his little chihuahua out of nowhere. And of course, like, if me and my dogs are just chilling, walking, and you come running up on me, especially with a little chihuahua, I have a shepherd mix. Like, she's gonna start barking and be like, "Yo, why the fuck you running up on us?" She's not gonna attack, but she's gonna defend. Like, this fucker just goes everywhere. Like, whatever. I'm sorry, my window's open, so I got distracted. But back to the important thing. So, yeah, since HBO is owned by Warner Brothers, obviously, if Netflix were to, and we're just using Netflix in this example right now, if Netflix were to purchase Warner Brothers, they obviously would be consuming HBO as well, which makes that very interesting also. Can you imagine seeing like an HBO hub in Netflix or something? I wonder. I think they. Well, I would imagine they would still keep it as a standalone app, like Disney is doing with Hulu. Like, for instance, Disney. I don't know if they recently purchased Hulu or if they always own them, but Hulu itself, like, is being taken under Disney's app, Disney Plus. So I wonder if it would be something like that, or I don't know. This shit's way above my pay grade. But that's a very interesting question, Jesse. I think it would affect AEW though. I mean, not to be negative, but how could it not? They did recently sign, what was it, like a 5 year. They do have that. But I don't know what verbiage is, or verbiage, however you pronounce it. It's one of those things where it's spelled BIA, but sometimes the I isn't pronounced. Whatever. Um, but I don't know, you can't just make a contract like that with that type of value null and void, right? Like, I don't know. So that's a very good question, but I think it would have to affect AEW. I don't see them just folding AEW altogether, because AEW does still bring value, right? Like, people shit on AEW, ratings have been dropping, storylines, blah blah blah, whatever, all the same mumbo jumbo, right? AEW does still bring value. Like, okay, yes, maybe Warner Brothers was in need for content, and obviously live weekly television content 52 weeks out of the year, give or take a couple weeks for the holidays, is fantastic to rely on, right? We saw that during the pandemic. It's one of those things that you can bank on, pun intended. Movies, of course, are always going to be there, but for instance, you look at USA. What does USA Network have? Law and Order SVU? Like, that shit's everywhere now. You can turn on almost any app and watch SVU. You can turn on, well, depending on who has rights with NBC, but still, SVU is everywhere. USA took, in my opinion, a big hit, because I couldn't tell you the last time I turned on USA Network now, especially since you can access everything on Netflix now, via VPNs. Shout out to my guy Sai. But yeah, like, there's just so many different options now. Warner Brothers needed AEW. Maybe, I'm not going to say more than AEW needed Warner Brothers, but it was probably a healthy balance. Maybe if we're breaking it down a little bit more, maybe AEW needed it like slightly more. But we don't know what other options that AEW had as well. I remember when they were when they were still in the negotiations, there was rumblings about maybe Amazon being on board. So yeah, so maybe that would be an option. Amazon is getting more and more into the live streaming, obviously with football and stuff like that. So I'm sure they would love to have, if you can't have the best product out there, you want the next best, right? And say what you want, but AEW is the number 2 promotion. So I could see maybe Amazon or a company like that making a run as well. But I think if it was Netflix in particular, that would be kind of dicey. I don't know much about Skydance, so I can't really speak on that. But Paramount, I fucks with Paramount only because of Big Brother. I love that show, Big Brother. So I subscribe to Paramount Plus just for Big Brother, and then I unsubscribe. There's really nothing else on there. Dexter's on there now, though. I think there's like a specific season that's only on Paramount Plus. So yeah, but other than that, like I'd be canceling that. But I mean, interesting. And just you said Paramount Skydance now has a deal with UFC, and they say it affects AEW's future. I don't know, man. I don't know, but good question. Good question. Good question. No, Maddie, I didn't even know there was a Sabu documentary. I have to check that out. It's on Kinema? I haven't heard of Kinema. You guys be hitting me with all this new shit. Y'all are too hip for me. All right. What up, Scott? Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's dive into the business at hand. And that is WrestlePalooza. God, hold on one second, guys. I am going to fix these blinds really quick. All right, sorry about that. It was messing with me. But no, I definitely will, Maddie. Thanks for pointing that out. I will, bro. All right, but officially WrestlePalooza, what everyone is here for, right? They I just love coming on here and chatting with you guys. You know what I mean? Like just making a stream just to come on here and chat. That's why I'm sorry, I hit the desk. That's why my streams be so long, because I just love chatting with you guys. Sai, you said, "Oh, I love the new picture, Sai. It's a great picture, bro." You said, "No way I'm watching 12 hours of wrestling or whatever. I'll watch the stream and then get up at midnight for WrestlePalooza." Yeah, dude, I do not blame you. Thankfully, it's well, actually that's later. I will be watching, or I'll have AEW All Out on in the background while I'm trying to be productive here, and then I got to go to my part-time this evening, and then I'll be watching WrestlePalooza when I get back. What up, Maria? So no, sadly, no watch alongs today. Like I was just saying, I have to work, man. I have to work, and I had to call out last night for my part-time, at least the evening job, because of a slight water leakage. Got a new dishwasher, and he had to hook it up to the drain, like the garbage disposal, and it slowly leaked. So fun times. So no watch alongs, because I can't call out twice in a row. I gotta be a responsible-ish adult, right? And go in and make up for lost time. So I will sadly be working and wasting my life away doing that while you guys are watching wrestling. Maybe depending on if there's a chance we can get out early tonight, which I highly doubt it. Maybe I'll jump on late tonight and do like a late night kick-ass stream, like a review show. If not tonight, then definitely, promise you guys, definitely sometime tomorrow. Whether that be the morning or the afternoon, definitely do something. Or a review show for it, though, for sure. And I miss doing watch alongs with you guys. And especially now that I have the office, well, once I get it set up, I gotta come up with a cool name for it. I love the lab, but my guy Elvis, he has that on lock, so I'm definitely not gonna take that. But I always loved the lab. His Elvis Escobar. If you guys have seen him on my show on Kickash Podcast, he's fantastic. Um, he used to do a podcast called Enter the Lab, and it was kind of like a sports recap show, like overall type recap show, which is really dope. I miss it. But yeah, shout out to him. But again, guys, I'm sorry I keep baiting and switching with you guys. WrestlePalooza. Um, I I may be in the minority. I don't know. I guess it depends on your flavor, right? But I am most looking forward to the mixed tag match. And I maybe again, it's probably because I'm biased, right? My guy Punk. But I'm just super excited that AJ Lee is back. I have loved everything about this, and we'll just start off with this. I have loved everything about this. The build. Some people have said like a couple of the segments have gone a little too long. I I'm enjoying it. I'm one of those people like, never say never. Like truly, I don't think anyone has ever truly gone. I mean, obviously depending on the extent of what you've done, but like man, we've seen so many people come back after what we thought were burned bridges. And my understanding, AJ Lee didn't leave under like bad, and of course it's a completely different regime now, so it wouldn't matter. Um, but I don't believe she left under like crazy bad circumstances like Punk did, right? Or anything like that. I think it was just like her contract expired or something like that. Enlighten me and school me, chat. But I think, and she obviously has referenced that she was having some like health and medical issues and stuff that she needed to get checked and her neck and things like that. So I think it was just like a combination of that, and obviously, with with what they did to her husband, I'm sure she wasn't just chomping at the bit, as they say, to resign. So I'm sure, or I'm thinking it was a combination of all that. I did read her book, but God, it was years ago, like right after it came out. So I have to go back and reread it, especially since she's back now. But if you guys haven't read her book, the part that this is maybe weird, but the part that stood out to me in her book was her relationship with Punk, how they got together and her love for him. Like I think she compared him to coffee or something like that, or her favorite, I don't know, something like that. But it was just so cool, and I just loved their little story. And she included like a picture then that was like backstage. It was just cute. It was just cute. So I love. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the desk. I love seeing their relationship on TV now. Like it's so fascinating to see this version of Punk now because it's an older Punk, right? It's an older, more, I don't want to say mature, but like a different CM Punk than the guy that we had, of course, 10, 11 years ago now in WWE, and then obviously way different than on the Indies and Ring of Honor and things like that. And of course, people grow, right? You would hope, at least when people get into their, what is he, in his 40s, you would hope, right, that they're not the same being as they were in their 20s and 30s, right? That's the whole point of life. But still is holding on to like that edge and like that old version ish of himself. Like it's there and you see it, right? Like when he gets fired up, like that promo that he did, like calling out The Rock when he like slapped his arm and shit. Just fantastic, right? So it's there. It's just waiting for the right moment to truly like he's not overdoing it, right? And he's not showing it every week. But just glimpses so it's there and it's just like just waiting to be exposed, right? And just waiting to just be just called out and just released. So I like seeing that and knowing that's there from what we've seen in his WWE return with Drew, right? And now seeing the husband CM Punk, it's kind of like I'm like weird in a good way. Like it's kind of like, yo, like look at this dude. Like I love the fact that he loves his wife. Like it's like maybe corny as that sounds. Like it's one of those situations they have where you see and you feel the love and the mutual respect for each other. But he like he doesn't overshadow her. Like he doesn't. I don't know. Like of course, like he would. I would. You know, like he's the bigger star, but her freaking reactions lately, y'all, like have been hot. And of course, she's just returned, so it's it's still hot and fresh. But man, like her I expected a great reaction, right? We all did, but it's more than what I expected, like consistently. Of course you expected on that first night, maybe even the first week back, right? When you hit Raw and SmackDown. But bro, this has been consistent. So I'm fascinated by that. But I love the fact that he is letting her shine, but it's not like it doesn't feel forced. And it's not like him it doesn't feel like something that was written for him from some dude in the back who would assume they know their relationship. Does that make sense? And it's just cool to see like him be vulnerable but still kind of be edgy too, if that makes sense. Now again, we still have yet to see the full version of Punk that I expect we will at some point, whether that takes him going heel or maybe just the edgier side of him. I think we have to get to like a breaking point for him. I don't know if that's going to be like towards the end of this feud, whether Seth does something like Dastardly to AJ Lee or whatever. I don't know, maybe not. Or maybe it is truly just waiting for that heel turn, which I'm not rushing. I'm just, speaking out loud, and just pondering. But I don't know. I'm digging it. So I love it, but I just love how they've presented AJ Lee. I love how they have let her go out there and just be herself, speak freely, and because like no one in the back wrote in that line about therapy and mental health and stuff like that, right? Like WWE just doesn't do that. Which is why, and I posted or retweeted something earlier on obviously Twitter, but Tony Khan, I think it was in the All Out Media Scrum, had referenced. Well, I'm not going to get into it, but it was just like essentially like freedom of speech, right? That he allows AEW talent to have and allows them to wear certain shirts, whether you agree with it or not. He just allows it. Okay, you would never see that on WWE, right? And he allows them to go out there and advocate for certain things. Again, whether you agree with them or not, I'm just stating facts. WWE does not do that. WWE does not do that unless they have a sponsorship or unless it is directly, I don't want to say something they could benefit off of, but unless it kind of is like that, like with Make-A-Wish and the cancer foundations. And again, I'm not speaking, I don't want to put that in like a negative light. I'm just saying like they kind of in a smart business move, like is like stingy and whatever word you want to classify it as it is. They're like, no, like we know our worth. If you want us to talk about you or advocate for this or X, Y, and Z, pay us, Whereas Tony Khan is a little bit more giving and a little bit more, I don't want to say generous, but in that regard, but a little bit more open and not as pay me, pay me, pay me, sponsor, 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 like you can go out there and just speak freely about something really quick and move on. Whereas, WWE really can't. So and again, it's not like she referenced like a specific like doctor or anything like that or a specific company or anything, but just overall, just, I don't know, just something like that really stood out to me because I think mental health is something that is obviously very important and doesn't get as much spotlight and as attention as it should, and really leads into and plays into a lot of other issues that you can have and addictions that you can have and things like that, especially for wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure a lot of wrestlers go through a lot of like tough mental shit. You know what I mean? Like I can't imagine I feel like I would love it, but like I can't imagine the life. Like we see them on TV once or twice a week, right? But you don't take into consideration the daily grind and the daily travel, the daily working out, the daily eating right. It's a full, like, I don't even want to say a full-time job. It's a lifestyle. Like, it's your life, dude. Like, it's your freaking life. These people can never have a day off. Yeah, like maybe you can have a cheat day, but like that's like you just don't. You go home for a couple of days, and obviously the schedule's gotten a lot better. But you go home for a couple of days and try to take care of everything at home, and you have to go right back. So the fact that she brought that up, the fact that she didn't get shit for it, and the fact that they've allowed her since to continue to talk freely, I just dig it. And I think it allows her to embrace her former character as well and kind of show the more mature, like Punk, and older version of it. I like what they both have done. Sorry, I'm going on a long rant here, guys. I just really like how they have presented both sides. And I like her skipping. Like, I thought I was gonna cringe when, like, if she came out and continued to skip, but it's like her facial expression and her body language, as weird as that sounds, as she's skipping, it's like a not sadistic because that's a little too strong, but almost like a maniacal and like conniving, like that crazy AJ Lee. You know what I mean? Like that old character AJ Lee that you know, like that batshit crazy, you know, like that girl. Like it shows that there's like, and like she said, like she's what would she say? What she say? She's a Puerto Rican from New Jersey that ain't afraid or like sometimes needs to like shank a bitch or something like that. Like yeah, like when she skips down to the ring because it's not like a full blown skip. You know, it's kind of like a I don't know, like a slower paced skip, and it's like she's thinking of the way she's gonna fuck you up type thing. Is my perception on it. And again, I just am weird and read way too much into things like that. But yeah, that's my long-winded thoughts on AJ Lee being back, AJ Lee and CM Punk being on TV together. And it made me think of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch when they were first presented on TV with each other. What was that, 2018, 2019? Just not good. Just the chemistry was not there on TV. Of course, obviously, in real life, they're great. It just felt really forced, and it was just not the time. This version of them being on TV together, I freaking love as well. I loved when Seth on, I think, yeah, this past Monday Night Raw, when he used CM Punk's line on him. He was like, it was obviously towards the end. He was like, I would never put my hands on a lady, but I know someone who would. And Becky's standing there, and she's just like, and then after like she thinks about it for a second, she's kind of looking around for the person who would. It's you, girl. It's you. And then they kind of like, you know, like they kind of bicker. Like I loved seeing them bicker because it was just like it just felt so real. Like I don't know, it just felt like a real life couple. Like why would you do this to me? Like no, like don't make me look stupid. Like da da da. Like and like you. Like, it's like one of those things where it's like we're not gonna argue about it here. Wait till we get into the car. Wait till we get home. And it's like the other person just can't drop it. And like they just like they're like yelling under their breath at each other. That shit just cracks me up. I just love seeing that shit because it tickles me. And then it was all a setup, right? There was like their little plan, but I just loved that line. I loved it. So yeah, if you guys can't tell, I am all here for this. It is the match I am most looking forward to. I wish that their faces were more on the advertisements, because anywhere you go, you see John Cena and Brock Lesnar's face, which I absolutely I get, right? Especially with ESPN, it's freaking Brock Lesnar, right? John Cena obviously makes 100% sense. I just wish, personally, there was more of like AJ Lee, CM Punk, because like they made a really good graphic, and this one dude who I follow on Twitter, I want to show you guys, made an awesome I don't know what you call it. Let me show you. Sorry, guys. This is going to be a little bit of a longer stream if you can't tell. Because I missed you guys. So I'm here to... And then I'm going to dive back into the comments. I have not forgotten about you guys. But you guys know once I get started, I can't shut up. All right. I couldn't remember his handle. But here it is. Let me move my screen. All right, cool. Look at this shit. And this obviously wasn't what I was talking about. But I was just saying, like, obviously I wish WWE would promote it more. But look, and when I thought about graphics, I just wanted to show you guys this. But shout out to at 97 Abdul Malik. Fucking fantastic artist, dude. Like, he has made some dope, like, what would you call these? Like, graphics, match graphics. Um, just fucking awesome. So look at this. Isn't that badass, y'all? Like, low key, not gonna lie, I kind of want a poster of this. Not gonna lie, I want a freaking poster of this. When I saw, and I'll show you the original version, and then this was the one that he did another mock up of with the paint. But I freaking love this. I think it's just so fire. So again, shout out to my guy at 97 Abdul Malik. He is so talented, so talented. But I wanted to show the original one that he did, that Russell Ops had posted. But he, Abdul, I'm sorry, Abdul, if you hear this. I'm just gonna call you Abdul real quick. But Abdul has made graphics before and gotten shout outs from CM Punk. So I don't know if he like speaks with him or like messages with him or anything like that, or gets requests. But Russell Ops had posted this, saying CM Punk collaborates with artist Abdul Malik for an artwork for his tag match with AJ Lee against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch for, of course, WrestlePalooza. And then that's when Abdul had posted the updated one with the paint added. But I just thought this was so cool. So I want to share it with you guys because I think y'all are dope. So got to share the love, right? But yeah, so shout out to Abdul again. If you guys are on Twitter, go check out his work because he is so talented. People like him, my guy Sai in the chat, just like all you guys can do shit with like technology, I am so envious of because I don't know anything about it, and it's one of the things I wish I did. But with this match, obviously getting to the point of the show, which is the prediction for this match, I don't think this one is going to be that big of a surprise. I think AJ Lee is going to get the pinfall of, which is the victory, the pinfall over Becky. I think it just makes sense unless you want to do the upset, like Becky does some shiesty shit to get over on AJ Lee, so it extends it that way. I don't know. I don't think you want to have AJ Lee come back and lose her first match. Maybe you do, so that could be the story, and she needs to gain her revenge against Becky, and she goes after her. But I think the real story could be AJ picking up the pinfall on Becky to obviously get the victory, and then to use that as kind of like a bragging point. And you're like, yo, girl, you say you're the man, blah, 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 but I pinned you and you want a shot at the IC championship. Now, you potentially may want AJ Lee to, because it like, what's the perception? Like, she comes back after 10 years ish and picks up one victory against Becky Lynch and then gets a title shot automatically. I guess Nikki Bella did something similar, but Nikki I think had a couple more matches at least. I don't think people are going to be too upset if AJ Lee picks up the victory here and then calls out Becky Lynch for a championship shot. Maybe Becky Lynch is so pissed off she throws it at her. But I just wanted to call it out because people gave Riho shit in AEW for coming back after being gone for or not on TV for a year or something, and then getting a title shot against Mercedes Moné. So it was a similar comparison. But it actually much more drastic on the AJ Lee side, time out of the ring in consideration. But yeah, to me that doesn't matter too much. It would be it. And it's not even like it's for the women's championship. It's for a secondary title. So I think that's just going to help elevate the IC championship even more. Sad thing for the US championship, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't be too terribly mad at it, but I could understand the arguments, right? And where people would be coming from with it. Like, yo, she comes back, wins one tag team match, not even a singles match, and she gets a championship title match. I can understand that argument, but it's AJ Lee, man. It's WWE. You know what I mean? She's a big star. She feels like a big star. So I think, in my opinion, there's more pros than cons in that argument. So my official pick here, 20 minutes later is AJ Lee picks up the victory over Becky. I think this is going to be a really fun match, though. I think the guys are going to start it out and build to the hot tag for AJ. Or maybe they start out with AJ Lee, going strong. But again, like I was saying earlier, with the way, especially Punk, like, came out with her music, made a point to reference that. Seth came out first, like, just the differences there. I could see the guys wanting to start it out just to kind of play up and continue that aspect of the story. And then, like I said, build to the big moment for the women. Because not only would it be like a hot tag or a big moment for AJ Lee, but obviously for Becky Lynch as well. Like, you're in there, you are only as good as your partner, right? Like, you are only as good as your dance partner is what they call it. So that moment, I can just almost picture it now, where AJ gets the hot tag, she gets in the ring, and then Becky obviously has to come in whether Seth tags or not, because men have to get out when a female is tagged in and vice versa. And Becky Lynch just like being pissed off and like getting like bending under like the to the third rope and just slowly getting in the ring, and AJ's just standing there, like the fans stand up and like people are losing their mind. I can just picture it now. I can see it, and I think that's just going to be such a fun and such a feel-good moment, So, yeah, again, long story short, I think AJ Lee picks up the victory here for her team. This leads to an IC championship match at some point down the road. Potentially, what are we coming up on? What's the next one? Survivor Series? What are we coming up on? Should pull that up. But yeah, that's my thoughts. But I'm going to dive into the chat here. Maria, you're funny. You said, please, nobody ask for Brandy for Brandy Rose to get in the ring. Y'all are funny. Man, y'all been chit-chatting. What up, David? What up? What up? What up, Nate? Fucking right, dude. Sai, you said, if we're doing power couples, this might be a good time for Montez Ford to leave the Street Profits behind. Ugh. I can't tell you how long I've been standing on this hill for Montez Ford and Bianca Belair to unite as a power couple. I just see Montez as the world heavyweight champion, Bianca as the women's world champion. I see him in the ring, Montez with the shades on, maybe Bianca with her shades on too. I don't know why I'm picturing Montez in a crown, but just standing there, maybe the spotlight, everything else is blacked out, and just glistening and just gloating in the spotlight. I'm just waiting for it to happen. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think they should. I think they should. I don't know why I just thought of Miz and Maurice. But again, well, maybe not again, but shout out to the Miz, because I sent a tweet out on it. I think maybe someone had liked it or something. But the Miz is he continues to show why he is one of the MVPs in WWE. That's why, like, months ago when there was speculation on his contract status and things like that, I'm like, y'all have got to be crazy at WWE if you let this man go. Unless he wants to go, obviously that's different. I made a whole case, going on in the Indies, stuff like that. But I was just like, y'all would be foolish if y'all let this man go. So I hope that, and I don't think they will, but he just shows again why he can step in at any point, do anything, and do very well. I'm not gonna say be fucking great or the best, but he carries it, man. Like he holds his weight. He's just so talented. Oh, Byron, what up? What up? Yeah, so you said I'd go as far as to say Becky is WWE's MVP at the moment on promos, and I'm not even a huge fan. Yeah, dude, you're probably right on that. Now that I'm thinking about it, And again, just something that stands out with her. I love how she continues to work in, like, she's, what is it? She's like the, not the best in the world, but she's the best. And she's like, it's not even me who says it. Sports Illustrated says it. And now who was the other one? Bleacher Report or something else? Says she's the best. And she's like the greatest women's wrestler or something like that. And I just love how she continues to work that in. Just little things like that. Yeah, and again, Sai, you said Abdul Malik is amazing. It's all original too, not or no AI. I love it. Exactly. Exactly. A true artist. And I know you have, Sai. I need to take you up on that offer. And yeah, and again, Sai, you had said, unpopular opinion. I actually think Becky and Steph take this. I I I was thinking about that too. That's why I wouldn't be shocked, but I just feel with it being their first night on ESPN and all that, mumbo jumbo, I feel like they're gonna want a feel good moment here. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm just leaning more so on AJ Lee winning. And two, whenever I think like the bad guys are gonna win or they should win, they just never do. So yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, Becky motorboating CM. Yeah, fantastic. But she said you motorboated my man or something like that. I was like, stop it, stop it. Oh, tremendous. And again, it feels real. It feels like something that's legit something she would say. So I loved it. But yeah, guys, moving on because you guys don't want to sit here and just bullshit with me all day. Moving on, we have the Usos reuniting. Jimmy and Jay, of course, facing off against the Vision, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. Man, again, like I was just saying with the bad guys needing to win, the Vision need a win here. Like, I'm sorry, you can't just keep beating the bad guys, having them do some major beatdown angle after the match or the next night on Raw or the next few nights on SmackDown and then move on. No, like they need solid victories. They need W's under their belt. They need something to harp on. So I'm picking the Vision here. I don't think the Usos really need the victory. I mean, yeah, like this is their first time reuniting, but I don't. And what, since March, I think it was, they had said. So I don't know. Like I think it would do so much more for the Vision, Reed and Breaker than the Usos. Like what are the Usos gonna gain beating the Vision? You know, that's why I thought that they should have, that Braun Breaker should, and God, well, who was it? Roman Reigns and, was it Cody Rhodes? No, Roman Reigns and who? Oh, and Jay. I thought they should have won that tag match. But yeah, here we are, and I do, with the whole Jay kind of like showing signs of being like full of himself and the tribal chief ish type of characteristics. I think they can really play into that. And if Jimmy, for instance, takes the loss here, Jay can be like, "Yo, like, what the fuck, man? Like, you cost us the match," and really like kind of use that as another seed to, I don't want to say a heel turn for Jay, but maybe play into that a little bit more. So we'll see. Like, it sounds crazy because of how much, or how much Jay is loved, and the, obviously the whole, the yeets and the entrance and things like that. But that can only go on for so long. We've been doing this for a couple years now. So, and obviously the merch is probably just off the charts. Like, I can't imagine the checks that bro is getting for the merch. Shout out to him. But it does run its course at some point. I don't know if we're necessarily there. I am ready to move on, but it's not like turn my TV off. It's like, okay, like whatever. But I'm not like, oh my god, like this is, we're still doing this shit. Some people are. I personally am not there yet, but I definitely would be getting there probably by the end of this year, if not sooner. But because in my opinion, he's not in the main event. He's not main event Jay anymore. Like he's not continuously going after the heavyweight championship now. So now that he's back in the tag realm, like it's not as annoying as it could be. And there were points where I'm just like, okay, like, can we, like, I'm kind of tired of seeing the entrance, but when you're there live, it's, you eat it up. So I totally get why they have continued to do it for as long as they have. I don't know if the actual heel turn is just happening here. I think this could be another seed being planted with them taking the loss and then going on from there. But we'll see. Because we have already seen them go against each other too. So I don't know. And that match wasn't that great, to be honest with you. So I don't know. But it could be fun to see the roles reversed, whereas Jay is the bad guy and Jimmy is the good guy. So TBD on that, but I'm picking the Vision to take the W here. Next, we have Io Sky facing off against Stephanie Vaquer finally for the vacant Women's Championship on Raw. As we all know, Naomi is out, going through the labors, the pregnancy. Shout out to her. It's like, I don't want to say it sucks. Like, I was hesitant. Like, I was good, like about to blurt out it sucks, but it sounds terrible. It doesn't suck. It's fucking fantastic. I'm so happy for her. It just sucks that it was like right now, because like this was the most fun I've had with the Naomi character in maybe ever. Now I respected her in the ring. Like, people, you know, there was a lot of people saying like she sucked in the ring and all that. I was never one of those. I dug her, you know, like I thought it was cool. She was different, right? So I was not the biggest fan, but I was a fan. I have loved this version of her. It's just the maniacal, like the laugh, like just the ridiculousness, not, you know, like always mispronouncing Stephanie's name. She called her what, Stephanie Velcro at one point. It's just ridiculous. So I'm just bummed that we don't get to see her on TV anymore. So that's where I'm coming out with that. That's why it sucks for me. But obviously, shout out to her. It's fantastic. I hope she is just living up every moment of it, and I hope her pregnancy is going well, and it's not one of those where like she's sick all the time or anything crazy like that. So hope all is well for her, and she's enjoying being at home. You know, like I was saying earlier, with them traveling so much, excuse me, in the crazy schedule and all that. This gives her a time to be home and enjoy it. You know what I mean? So shout out to her. But yeah, moving on back to Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer. They are fighting for her vacant championship. I'm kind of slightly torn on this one just because I'm wondering if they're gonna have excuse me, Asuka come out and do some fuck shit with Io or anything like that. But then I'm thinking, I don't know, like what if Asuka tries to do something, it backfires, and it ends up helping Stephanie, or Asuka doesn't. She just comes out and helps Io, or maybe nothing. Maybe Io just picks up the victory. I don't feel like this is the moment for Stephanie. I think obviously I would love for her to win, and I'm actually wearing her shirt. Shout out to her. I would love for her to win, right? Just personally, I'm a big fan. But I just don't feel like right now. I want her first women's championship match or championship victory to have hella build to it, have that feeling. I kind of want it to be off of like a Rumble win, to be honest with you. Whether that's going into next year's WrestleMania, I think with how hot she is, you know, I can see them wanting to put the championship on her, and I don't see them wanting to wait another year plus. So I get the enticement there, but I just don't feel like it's right now. I feel like if you were wanting and going to put the championship on her, y'all should have been building her for these past few weeks, and she's been kind of MIA. You know, she at least she hasn't been wrestling. You know what I mean? So I just think that yes, she is obviously going to be a women's champion, probably sooner than later. I just don't think it should be right now. So I think Io Sky should pick up the victory here. I think Io is such a solid and I don't want to say, I almost said suitable, but that sounds demeaning. But she's just a solid and reliable champion and one of the best wrestlers, period, that they have. So, and there's so many options that you have, especially like with the whole Asuka and Kairi and things like that. Like, there's so many different options. You can go back to the Rhea Ripley thing. So, yeah, my pick here is going to be Io Sky. I can see them probably, or not probably, but wanting to maybe do some, conniving stuff with Io and have it backfire and have Stephanie pick up the victory there. But again, I don't want that either for her first title win, for that being Stephanie. I want it to be a solid build, a bit like that classic babyface run, and that classic, she's not necessarily the underdog, but she's fighting and making her way to the championship. So that's what I personally what I want for Stephanie. It sucks because the Rumble isn't in the US, so I would, because personally I'd want to try to go to this year's Rumble, but if they are clamoring to put the championship on Stephanie, my ideal route then would be to have her win the Rumble and then be on the road to WrestleMania. So that's where I'm at with this one. Again, officially, Io Sky picks up the W here, and we go from there. I think, yeah, we are on to our final two. So we have Cody Rhodes, the not real undisputed WWE champion, according to John Cena, right? Cena's the last real champion, defending against Drew McIntyre for said championship, obviously. This one is main eventing, right? They have recently come out and stated. I am wondering if we get some surprises. There was one hot rumor, which I don't, just based on the contract status, I don't think it's going to be right now. Because my understanding was he wasn't going to be available until the end of the year, and this is not quite there yet. And that is Chris Jericho. I saw some chatter and speculation that Jericho could somehow come and make his return into the WWE and for whatever reason interfere, maybe not even whatever reason, interfere in this match. I was saying whatever reason because it would be completely random, you would think, right? To come in and potentially cost Cody Rhodes the championship, have Drew McIntyre defeat Cody because of something that Jericho did to Cody, and then Cody and Jericho be facing off in some grudge match. I don't think that's gonna happen. At least not right now. But it's fun to speculate, right? And it's fun to throw shit on the wall and just make shit up. So while I was saying like that would be so random, they're not gonna necessarily say the letters in the word AE, well, not the word, but the letters AEW if and when Jericho does come back. But you have so much history that they can play off. It would be creative how you dance around the words and that, but you just like they do where they say, well, when they reference people from other that have been world traveled and been on the independents and stuff like that, right? Like they can say, that'd be kind of shitty to say AEW is independent, but there's ways around it, right? And again, I'm not saying that this is necessarily going to happen, but there is some small speculation and some small what ifs that Jericho could potentially come back tonight. And again, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's kind of fun and kind of crazy to think about, right? And yo, can you imagine and again, I don't think Jericho would want to do this either. But can you imagine, and not that, well, maybe from the WWE side, they would be thinking of it this way. But not necessarily the Jericho side, but he would have to be aware of it. What a slap in the face it would be to not only have WWE create this event, WrestlePalooza, put it on the same day, make AEW move times, which I guess they didn't necessarily force them to move times, but it was a smart move if you're Tony Khan. Whatever you want to call it, a bitch move, a scary move. I call it a smart move because, yes, like I don't know. I don't view it as a shakedown, right? Like as some people phrase it, I view it as, all right, fuck. Like this big monster of a company is gonna come in and try to take over my day. No, I'm gonna move. You know what I mean? Like you're not taking away my viewership. So it sucks, and I wouldn't want if you're Tony Khan and if I'm Tony Khan, I wouldn't cave each time. And part of me would be like, you know what, like the pettiness in me would be like, nah, F you, bro. Like I was here first, like get your own day and time. But yeah, I on the business side, I can see why you would want to because it obviously would impact pay-per-view buys. I would imagine. Maybe not as many as you would think, but every buy counts. um, so yeah, that's probably why I'm not a billionaire because the pettiness is real. But yeah, so but back to that. Can you imagine the it would be if Jericho makes his surprise WWE return on WrestlePalooza the same day All Out is going on. I just think that would be wild, bro. That would be wild. And again, I don't think it's gonna happen. I do think he's coming back to WWE, just not tonight. Because like I was saying earlier, my understanding that his contract was through the end of this year. I don't know if that's like literal, like December 31st, or if it's like roughly like around that time frame, or maybe it was in the last quarter, which we are kind of in now. So who knows? Maybe you guys know, and I'll get back to it in the chat once I get through this long tangent that I've been on of the prediction card and everything. Um, but yeah, I think back to the actual prediction though, without Jericho involved, I think that we get Cody Rhodes retention here, retaining the title. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy, unfortunately. I would love it for Drew, right? But I don't see you putting the championship back on Cody after he won and defeated John Cena, and then have him lose so quickly to Drew. It would be shocking. So if that's what you're going for in a big moment like that, yeah. And Triple H did say like there's like surprises in store, so maybe it could be related to that. He has said that in the past, and nothing really crazy has happened. But again, this is their first night on ESPN, so they are going to want to do and make it as big as possible. But unless it's like The Rock, The Rock, I guess, could return or like cost Cody. The Rock did give Drew that sword, right? And when Drew, I don't know, I can't remember if The Rock presented Drew his contract or just gave him the gift, but there is that. And Drew has referenced before, and when The Rock wants Cody's soul, and Drew had made comments on that and shit like that. So it wouldn't be too far out there to have The Rock come in and cost Cody the championship, and then if you want to have The Rock facing off against Cody at the Rumble, which I think is crazy. You would want to do that at WrestleMania, and especially with Saudi getting WrestleMania in, oh my god, what year is it? Next year? Well, not next year, coming up, but the year after. You would probably want to save that. It's, whatever, but opinions aside. And I'm not even clamoring for that match, to be honest with you. Like, I am good on The Rock. So I'm not advocating for this, just going through all the possibilities that I can think of. So there is that, but that would make more sense than the Jericho one, right? But I think The Rock is still tied up with some films that he's working on right now or finishing up on or whatever. So I don't even think scheduling wise he would be able to. But again, tonight's a big deal for them. So and Lesnar's already involved, right? It's not like Lesnar's gonna come back and we've already seen Lesnar and Cody. So I don't know. And again, I'll get into the chat once I wrap up here and see what you guys have to say. But that's all I can think of, really. But I thought the Jericho one was intriguing. But again, the contract thing is the biggest deal. And again, I just don't. And maybe he wouldn't view it this way, or maybe he can advocate for why it wouldn't be, like a big fu. And I don't think he would be doing it that way. It's it just worked out that way. But it would be just wild if Jericho did debut on the same day as All Out is going on. But we will see, guys. We will see. But John Cena facing off against Brock Lesnar. They have put together a very good video package, I will say. The story of their history, right? Like them starting from OVW, just the entire build. Like, it was fun going back and watching. Like, I didn't forget, but it was just wild to see like a young John Cena and a young Brock Lesnar and just their undisputed championship match in '03. And just I remember the graphic. It was Cena still in the bucket cap, and he was like with his hands up in the bucket cap. It was like a white one, I think. Just man, takes me back, takes me back. But they've had quite the journey and the story, and I really didn't realize how intertwined they both were. Like, of course, like I knew they started off together. It's the classic OVW story with that great class coming out of that year and everything. And then we know the comparisons with Lesnar, pretty much just hitting the ground running. Cena kind of flailing a bit, almost losing his job, and then going into thugonomics and all that. We know the story, but I just seeing it all put together and just shown like in your face is like, man, like, yeah, like, and then of course the return, the Extreme Rules match, the SummerSlam match, just wild to see how much history and story they do have. So while I wished we did get more from Lesnar, besides saying, like tomorrow's D-Day and like I want blood, bitch, or whatever, I'm coming for blood, whatever he said. um I guess they could make the excuse that they didn't necessarily need to, although I would have still had Lesnar just say something short and sweet, like, you think you're gonna retire without me beating your ass one last time, or like I'm gonna end your career like shorter, like, like you thought you're gonna make it to December, like I'm gonna end you tonight, whatever, like some shit like that. But the winner in this match is what's really intriguing to me. Both men, I don't want to say need a win, but have lost recent, like when you look at their last 5-10 matches, have lost, I would think, more than they have won. Especially, yeah, I was gonna say especially Cena, but Lesnar too. Lesnar has put over Cody, Reigns. I'm blanking on someone else I was thinking of, but McIntyre. So I don't know, because part of me is like, okay, well, Cena obviously is on his way out, right? Lesnar is going to be sticking around a little bit longer. So do you really want Lesnar to take another loss? Lesnar does have this way about him to just be gone for X amount of months and then come back and then still feel like the beast, right? And still feel unbeatable. But when you sit down and think about it, it's like, damn, like this dude, like he has lost a good amount. Whereas Cena, it's like, okay, like, yeah, we're on his retirement run, it's coming down to the last few dates. But is he really gonna just lose to everyone on the way out? Then it doesn't really, like, okay, like, so I'm not gonna say it doesn't make it exciting, but we know what to expect. So I don't know. The winner here is really, really intriguing to me. So since I have to make a pick, I'm gonna go Lesnar. I'm gonna go Lesnar only because I think they're gonna go the route of Lesnar just beating the shit out of Cena. It plays into the ESPN aspect of it, right? The sports feel with them, you see all that BS. But I don't know if they're gonna want to run it back because again, Cena has what? How many dates left? So I don't know if you're necessarily gonna want to try to have Cena get his revenge, but then it's like, okay, if you have Lesnar just go out there and destroy Cena and bloody him up, what is like? How does Cena just like not want to get his revenge? And maybe that leads to something crazy. Like maybe that leads to like a War Games match. Like maybe somehow like all the Avengers unite, like all the superheroes unite and like line up, 5-on-5 and Lesnar. Can you imagine seeing Lesnar in a War Games? I don't know why I just saw that, but just trying to think of like I thought of like where we're going next in the Survivor Series, and that's my thought process. But that could be that. Can you imagine like a War Games with Cena involved, Lesnar involved? You have to imagine Cody would be involved. maybe Reigns, like just a star-studded, like a freaking loaded War Games. But I don't even know how we would get there with all those random people. But that would be the only way that I could think of Cena potentially getting his revenge and still utilizing and putting like utilizing one of the best ways possible, one of his last dates. Because I think it'd be fun to see Cena in a War Games match. He's obviously never been in one, so why not? And I could see Cena being like, screw it, man. Like, I'm literally on my way out. Like, I don't wanna just do like safe matches. Like, let me go out there and fucking bleed, dude. Like, let me go out there and you remember what was it? Judgment Day Cena? I'm not saying we're gonna go out there and get that, but that dude is not scared to go out there and put out and put up a fucking fight. You know what I mean? Like Cena has gotten the rep of, yeah, like Super Cena and all this stuff, but he will go out there and battle. So I feel like that's the matchup we're going to get with Cena and Lesnar. I feel like they're going to go out there and Cena's going to get bloodied the fuck up. Again, I'm not saying he's going to be pouring buckets, but that's what I feel. Just in with that Lesnar comment, like, I don't think Lesnar's, he's, you know, like, yeah, he doesn't watch the week to week product, but he's not dumb, right? Like, he knows WWE doesn't just go out there and they don't just bleed, you know what I mean, nowadays. So for him to make a blood comment, that's why I was like, yo, this shit's gonna be tough. So, and if not, I'm gonna be disappointed, to be honest with you. Like, I don't want to just go in there and see Lesnar hit Suplex City like 15, 20 times and that be it. Like, we saw that once and that was okay. Like, not okay. That was a great match, but I don't want to just take the easy route out. Like, yo, this is supposedly their last one-on-one match. Go balls out, dude. Like, go balls to the wall and fucking put on a banger of a match. So that's where I'm at with it. Lesnar gets the victory. Um, but I'm really torn on it, to be honest with you. I can see both sides. But I think Lesnar gets the victory, and I'm just speaking crazy talk. We're gonna see Cena in War Games. I don't know, and Lesnar's gonna be involved somehow too. But I don't know. But that would be the revenge I would see. But yeah, I'm gonna read what you guys have to say now because I have been talking for forever and a day. And then we will be wrapping it up, guys, because I've kept you guys long enough. What up, Danelle? What up? What up? Oh, and last night too, guys, Lesnar did walk into Heyman and was like, "We need to talk," which I thought was pretty interesting. Yeah, and now you said Jay getting calls from Roman and taking his advice may lead to him being one of Roman's goons again. I hope he's not like, you know, like what was it? Not second hand Jay, but right hand man or some shit like right hand. I don't know, whatever that phrase was. But I don't know. Like yeah, that would be interesting. But like, would that mean Roman's gonna be like a bad guy, like a full blown bad guy again? I don't necessarily see that. So I could see Jay just breaking out and kind of being the old version of Roman, and Roman coming back and acknowledging, no pun intended, what Jay is turning into, and be like, "Nah, bro, you like knows like you can't go down this path, man," and that leading to a match between them. Oh yeah, yeah, they did. That's right. Yeah, you said didn't Jericho do the Austin podcast on the old network? I can easily see them doing a deal. Oh yeah, I feel like they definitely going to do a deal. It's just a matter of when. But wasn't that when he was still with AEW too? When he did that interview? That was what I was thinking of earlier. That's right, Sai. Thank you. You said outside bet that the inevitable Orton heel turn happens tonight, but I don't think or happens, but I don't think tonight. That was the other possibility for that match as well. That Orton comes in, turns heel on Cody, costs him the championship. Drew wins, and then goes on from there. I would love it. I would personally love it. again, I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan. I don't necessarily see them taking the championship off of him so soon. But again, why not necessarily? Why not? He still have a good amount of time between now and WrestleMania if your concern is getting the title back on Cody for Mania. Or you can have Cody win it back at Mania and have Drew go on and defend the championship in the next few months. Cody be wrapped up in his drama with Orton. I don't want to see Cody win the Rumble again. But Cody somehow earns a championship way back to, or another championship shot at Drew. Maybe the Rumble winner chooses to face off against, I guess it would be Seth still. Maybe that's a Punk victory. Punk wins the Rumble. He obviously chooses Seth. Cody wins the Chamber, makes it back to Drew, and then we're at WrestleMania. So just kind of spitballing there, but I don't know. You said, let's talk about 420. You said, is there a kickoff show that used to be on YouTube? I would imagine there is for you're talking about WrestlePalooza, right? I would imagine so. But I think let's see. Yeah, the pre-show shows is at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, it says to promote the event, ESPN2 will broadcast a special on. Oh no, that was something else. Hold on 1 second. That was for the show they did prior. Let me just pull up YouTube. But they always do a pre-show. I'd be shocked if they were going to do one right now, or for this show rather. But yeah, maybe it won't be on YouTube. Maybe they'll have it on a different platform. Oh, it shows WWE is live right now. Oh, they're just showing. Oh, they're airing the best of the Usos right now. Yeah, but I don't see anything scheduled for tonight on their YouTube channel unless they just haven't set up the stream yet. But yeah, it does confirm AI, good old AI again, does confirm that WrestlePalooza, the pre-show does begin at 5 p.m. Eastern. And obviously streams on the ESPN. In case you guys don't know, it streams on the ESPN platform. And you have to go to your app store and all that shit to find it. In case you didn't know. Just watch SmackDown. But yeah, so it looks like there is a pre-show. K Smith, what up? You said you want Cody to lose. So yeah, man, sometimes I watch the kickoff shows too. I'll have them in the background. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's talk about 420. I agree with you, man. I'm right there with you. Live it up. I have it on in the backgrounds because not for nothing, like I'm not now again, like I don't like depending on the show and depending on what I have to do that day and if there are matches scheduled for it, sometimes I will sit down. I have never sat down and watched the full 2-hour pre-show, but I definitely will have it on in the background. And if it's been a couple weeks where I've kind of been in and out, I haven't been able to catch the entire Raw or SmackDown, their video packages, they do a great recap. And sometimes I do enjoy listening to some of them talk about it. But it gets to a point where they start repeating themselves, so we have to move on. But yeah, man, they're not, if you've been watching, if you're up to date on the product, it is a waste. I don't want to say a waste, but it's redundant. But if you need to catch up or you need like a refresh, they do a good job. What up, Nate? You said, I hope we get a new Vision member tonight. Who do you think it would be? Nah, Mackenzie, you're right. What up? You said we still don't know why Brock Lesnar attacked John Cena. We don't, and I don't know why he couldn't have said something quick about it. So I don't know, man. What up, Negan? What up? What up? Love the little flag. That's cute. What up, Negan? What up, Derek? What up? What up, Derek Hubbard in the chat? I always like hearing what you have to say, my friend. He said, I don't like the Jay Knight stuff. It is tough to build a babyface if the crowd likes their character instead of their wrestling style. Jay and Knight are there. Don't screw with it. Spot on, bro. Spot on. And that's why I was like, I was kind of surprised why they were like showing a different side of Jay and like, like planting those seeds. Like I don't know. It was kind of surprising to me. I'm in my opinion, like I was saying earlier, like we're some, depending on your flavor, like some people have been tired of Jay for over a year, and don't think that he should have won at WrestleMania. Whereas some people are still like okay with it. It depends on where you're at with it, but you had something so organic, like with LA Knight, run it until you can, and then go from there. So I'm kind of surprised by that. Nate, you said imagine Danhausen and R-Truth. That would be wild. And I do see WWE picking up Danhausen. I could definitely see that. I don't see him going out there and wrestling a lot, but like an R-Truth, I could see him just being that guy. Um yeah, like where has Danhausen been? Like I know he had that knee injury for a while, but man, I don't know. Just one of them towns. Like, where'd they go? He was close with Punk, so maybe that was it. And Donnell. Oh, why didn't it pop up? You said Brock just hates John Cena. That is his reason. And honestly, dude, I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, like Brock just hates Cena. That's always been Brock's stance. Like he's just never been a fan of Cena. He's always wanted to destroy this guy. He's always wanted. He's whenever Cena seems to be like I like that night on Raw. I'll just never forget it. Cena's out there, and then all of a sudden Lesnar's music hits, and Cena just looks to the stage, and you can just see on his face. It's just like, fuck, man. And like his face didn't necessarily drop like that, but that's what I imagine his brain, like the John Cena character brain, thinking like this guy again. So yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like they did take the lazy route, and I think they could have had. I can take these off now. They could have had Cena come out there, or I'm sorry, Lesnar go out there, and Cena for that matter, go out there and make a true case as to why. But at least the video package worked. Okay. Oh, I removed myself. But yeah. So guys, that is the long preview. I did not think I was gonna go over an hour. I apologize for running my mouth. But yeah, I wanted to sit here and bullshit with you guys because I missed chatting with you guys. Had to take some time off, just stuff going on. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. I hope everyone enjoys all the wrestling that we're getting this weekend. Like I said, or today, it's going to be a packed weekend, a lot of wrestling, but make sure to be productive with your life as well, unless you have been productive the entire week and today is your lazy day. If so, enjoy that shit. You deserve it. But if not, y'all have a fantastic weekend. Like I said earlier, I'm hoping to do, not hoping, I will be doing a review show at some point tomorrow. I just don't know what time. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be over on my channel on the Kagash podcast. Thank you all for watching over on Twitter, over on RVD's channel. A lot of you guys watching over there. Very, very good chunk of you guys watching over there. I very much appreciate that. Brashering Media appreciates that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps us out. We like to see the growth. Like stream if you have not done so already. That helps grow the community, man. Like that's what I was saying earlier. It's no bullshit. I love sitting here and talking with you guys and hearing what you guys have to say because you guys make me think too. So I appreciate everyone for popping in. There's a lot of you guys in there, and I don't want to leave anyone out. So I appreciate all you guys for popping in and sharing your thoughts and opinions. Until tomorrow on Kickash Podcast, thank you for joining me here. Enjoy your day and stay safe out there, guys. Take care.